I'm Daniel.
And I'm Stefan.
Aberystwyth is the place that has been picked by the National Theatre of Wales, and we've been invited to come and explore the place. We've been thrilled by the idea to work in a smaller town, because we normally rather work in big cities, and we're very much intrigued by exactly the effects that you have here, that you run into the same people every day, that many people know each other, people know about the houses and so on. So the overview about what happens in the center of town is something that people share, and this is what we work on also. It is like a smaller system that you can get to learn.
Well, when we did the concept for that work, we had many interests. Like we had maybe the idea to do something outside, or that was the first approach. We had the idea to have individual audiences, like individual experience for audiences, different trips for an audience, and that all brought us to the technique more or less. Like it is just now possible to work with those devices in a very fast way, in a very individual way, in a very secret way maybe as well, because if we would have used cameras, like big cameras in the city, it changes a lot, and those devices there are so small, and now everybody is so used to walk around with their telephones and look at displays, that we had the feeling that's a good way to capture very interesting little films, and not actually always run around with a camera or have a big team, or just downsize it completely to a little tool that's actually taking in and presenting later on as well. And it's just, it's comparably cheap to make that happen, and very easy to handle, and we just had the feeling that's the best device for that. So.
Started working here last Friday, I guess, really, when we did first tryout with 12 volunteers, and it was terrific. Actually, the first day was very interesting, because we did walk at least 20 miles and discovered the whole area, and discovered the possibilities of the medium that we had just sort of, invented or came across. People walking all around the place with their iPads in their hand and meeting other people. We always came back to the same spot, and then next day we wanted to make a more sophisticated system, which would be not coming always back to the same place and then redistributing, and then again coming to the same spot, but chain up a sort of more complex system where you would go here, and then from there, and then from there. And it completely didn't work out. So we were a bit we were a bit sad on Saturday, because we found out, how can we improve after the first euphoria? I guess one step further on. And so we spent hours and hours discussing Sunday how to find an appropriate system which allows you to move on from one place to another without always coming back to the same one. And somewhere around 5 o'clock on Sunday, we suddenly went like, bing, got it. And we started making up a system which was the basis of a shooting which we did Monday. And we were really very positive when we had done that. We thought, okay, got it. And then we went up the hill to our rendering farm and tried to import everything into the computer. It turned out that it's just very complex to render. We spent the whole night waiting for the progress of the render icon getting further than 10%, and it didn't, until the point that we had to cancel actually the tryout the next morning. We had to reshoot everything in a different mode, which then we finally could try out yesterday night. So we did a lot of trial and error, I think, and now we really know what we'll have to do in the second phase that we spent here. And But it is a nice way actually of researching a city, because you're constantly walking and thinking. I think thinking and walking goes together very well. So it's always, even if even sometimes we go steps backwards, it always feels like moving on.